Hello everyone, Jamarcus here, and I'm here with week 4 of the Mafia division of the SPDA. We're faced off against Iger, who has a very good team. I think he's rated top 3 amongst most players in the division. I'm not. Um, my water resist is a Swanna, and they have an Araquanid. They also have a Belly Bolt, and I don't have a ground type besides Swanna. So, pretty tough matchup for me. I think some good Terra captains. I hope Meryl shows up, honestly, but I don't know if it will. Um, Terrifier on either of these guys to deal with. Orthworm makes sense. But I also think I have some good tricks. They don't have a rock resist, so I'm bringing Banded Thorns. I think Setup Drifblim struggles quite a bit, so I'm not bringing that. Orthworm's pretty good into like the bottom half of their team. Hitmonchan once again looks terrible. Week 4, this guy hasn't shown up. Um, maybe one day. Let's take a look at what team I brought. So Banded Thorns, I need to run Jolly because I want to be faster than Decidueye. Double rock move. I have Rock Blast just in case I lead it and think they might be Focus Sash on Araquanid. Earthquake because they also don't have the best of ground resists. Their team's pretty ground weak. It's really just Araquanid and Decidueye. And then Brick Break in case they bring screens on Meowstic. Skuntank is enough attack to, I think, 2-hit KO an offensive Decidueye with Colbur Berry, which is like Super Nation is not going to matter. And then just the rest in bulk. Toxic Protect with Black Sludge. That's kind of my Belly Bolt answer because Belly Bolt shouldn't be allowed. How do you kill that thing? Especially because I don't have a ground type. Flamethrower is purely there for Alolan Sandslash, and Knockoff is kind of good. Knockoff or Toxic is good into everything else. Orthworm, Spikes with Coil, Body Press, Heavy Slam. I'm Coil because I want to boost up my Heavy Slams as well. I could have been just Iron Defense, but I thought Coil might be nice. Spikes because their team really hates Spikes. It hits every single Pokemon. Their removal is Defog, Decidueye, which is decent removal to be honest, but I think Spikes look really nice here. Lead Raichu with Sash, Volt Switch around, Paralyze something, Psychic for Blaziken, and knocking something off. Just hopefully getting a good lead, disrupting, maybe knocking off Belly Bolt, or getting a big Psychic on Blaziken, or paralyzing something. That's the plan. I have Swanna. I'm adamant because I only really need to be outspeeding Blaziken and Arbok. I have Flip Turn, Brave Bird, Terra Blast. I'm fully physical. And then Defog last, just in case they set up webs or something and I want to get rid of them. Last up is a supportive Drifloon set with some crazy EVs, I guess. Speed is so I outspeed Scarf Blaziken or +1 Arbok after Unburden. I'm Citrus Berry. The bulk, I don't remember what it does to be honest. I think I live like a Spirit Shackle maybe. Spadef, maybe I live a Shadow Ball. Can't remember. Tailwind, kind of for Iron Thorns. Destiny Bond. After I get my Unburden and I burnt something, I can just kill something hopefully. And then Shadow Ball, just pretty good neutral coverage into their team. Walled by Wigglytuff, but I'm not too worried about that thing. What do I expect to show up? Blaziken for sure, Araquanid for sure, Bellybolt for sure, probably Decidueye, probably a Terra Captain, and then probably one of Wigglytuff and Sandslash. There's no Araquanid. That was incredible to me because I thought that thing just clicks a water move and gets to kill every turn. But we don't see it. We see Arbok and Golem, and there's no Sandslash. So it means Flamethrower on, uh, what's his face? Skuntank is pretty useless, but I think Skuntank will still be really helpful for Decidueye. So I always planned on leading Raichu. There are a couple bad leads for it. I don't want to see a Golem, which I think is a decently likely lead, so kind of tough, although I'll live a hit from it, and Psychic can 2-hit KO, It's a roll. It depends on their EVs. Belly Bolt, I can knock it off, but I'm kind of walled by it. Same thing with Wiggly Tuff. I'm kind of expecting Scarf Blaziken. That's why I'm leading Raichu. And there's Blaziken. I think if Blaziken leads, it's probably Scarf. I'm expecting this thing to click U-turn and bring me down to my Sash, but I don't see a Psychic resist, so I just click Psychic. They opt to just click Earthquake, take me down to my Sash, and I kill them with Psychic. Pretty good turn one for me. I get a crit that did not matter unless they had a lot of bulk, which I don't think they would. It's a pretty good turn one for me. Belly Bolt comes out. I was between clicking Psychic and Knock Off on this. If they're Assault Vest, Psychic's going to do about 15%. So I opted to click Knock Off, getting rid of Leftovers, a Shucko Berry, um, Assault Vest, anything would be good. I'm fine with Raichu dying here. I don't want to switch on their Volt Switch because I think Volt Switch is a really free click here. So I would be giving up momentum and Belly Bolt would still have its item. I don't want to do that. So I just click Knock Off, get rid of its Leftovers. We'll take it. I bring out Swanna. This was a really tough call for me to make. In hindsight, Iron Thorns might have been a better play. Choice Band Earthquake has a pretty good shot at killing this based on the damage Knockoff did. I think it's like an 80% chance to kill. Muddy Water will only do about 50% back to me if I don't kill. If they switch to Situai, that's fine, I have a Skuntank. And nothing else really wants to take a Choice Band Earthquake. Swanna coming out, Terrible Last Ground is not killing. But they can't kill me back. And if they drop my accuracy with Muddy Water, that's a little unfortunate. I can try and hit again though. So I click Terrablast Ground. They bring in Wigglytuff thinking I'd be special. I'm not. Terrablast does a lot of damage. They protect on my Brave Bird, which will now kill, because Brave Bird does a lot more than Terrablast. And I thought, should I try and click Terrablast here on the Golem? Or should I just click Brave Bird? I decided to just click Brave Bird because the Golem doesn't really have any Terra types that want to take a Terrablast ground. If they're Terra ground, that's fine. That means they're kind of walled by Orthworm. They have Fire Punch, but it's not even doing that much. So I just click Brave Bird and they decide to stay in, and Swanna gets another kill. I'm very happy I drafted this thing. Now it comes to Sidgewai, which is a very surprising play for me. I thought they would go Belly Bolt and just click Muddy Water, I guess, because it kills. But they're probably not Muddy Water, seeing as they have Chilling Water. They bring it to Decidueye, which I thought would die. Maybe they're just trying to Shadow Sneak me, which doesn't kill, even if they're Choice Band Adamant. Or they're trying to go Golem. I was confused on what play they're making here. So I click Brave Bird. Turns out they're Max Fizdef Bold. They live, and they kill me, which is fine. I've gotten a lot of damage onto Decidueye now. But this does put me in an awkward spot because my best play is kind of to click Stone Edge on Iron Thorns. I should be faster, or I am faster guaranteed. And it'll kill this, but if I miss, really bad spot. I 2-hit KO Belly Bolt, I 2-hit KO Golem. Unless they Terra Ground after, then I think they might live. And I don't really want to miss. So I could also go Skuntank and click Knockoff, but I thought, okay, they could be Colbur Berry, they would live, they get a Roost, and now they're actually walling me because Knockoff's not doing enough damage. I could Toxic, um, but then that lets an Arbok in, and not a good position to be in. I can go Orthworm, but they're special attacking, I imagine. Shadow Ball wouldn't even do that much damage, but I can get my spikes up. Although I'd have to coil a lot to actually beat this thing. Heavy Slam is only doing about 25%, seeing as they're max Fizdef. So my last option is go Drifloon, so I do. I figured a lot of these options let Belly Bolt in. So Skuntank, if I just click Knockoff, they're probably going Belly Bolt, which I didn't want, because then they'd be boosted by their ability. I could click Toxic on them, but they would do a lot of damage to Skuntank, which I don't want. So I opt to just click Shadow Ball here. I do not very much. They had some difficulties with my Swanna set, and I figure, okay, they got a lot of Split F investment. That means Iron Thorn's Earthquake is looking really good here, because Decidueye will be getting 2-hit KO'd by that if they switch in, so I just need to get Iron Thorns in at some point to be able to click Choice Band Earthquake. With that being said, I don't want to go hard into it here. If they chill in water, they live and they can recover up. I want to switch because if I attack them here, so they're boosted, which means if they're discharged, they have a roll to kill me, and if they're thunderbolt, they always kill me. If they're volt switch, they don't, and I figured if they volt switch on my Orthworm, that's not the end of the world. So I lied. I go into Iron Thorns. Sorry, I go into Orthworm on a later turn. I go into Iron Thorns because I figured if they go Arbok, that's fine. Um, so I was expecting Volt Switch here, but they don't. They click Slack Off, which is fine. I click Earthquake. Decidueye comes in. This gets 2 KO'd. I get a crit. Doesn't really matter. They would have died the next turn anyways. Golem comes out. I'm expecting a Terra type that lets them live here. I was expecting Magnet Pull so they can trap Orthworm, but I guess Sturdy could be good too. So I decide to go hard at the Drifloon here. I think they're clicking Earthquake. Drifloon's immune. I can Wisp them the next turn. If they're Terra Fire, that means my matchup against Arbok is a lot better. So I go into Drifloon. They're not clicking one of their stabs here. They counter. Very good that I switched. That tells me they're probably Sturdy if they're counter, which tells me they might be Cussed Up Berry too. I want to watch out for that. I really want to get spikes up here to break this Sturdy. I click Wisp. If they Terra Fire on me and kill me, I'm okay with that. They go Belly Bolt. In hindsight, maybe Wisp was not the best play because I really wanted to be able to Toxic this thing. This thing cannot kill me yet, but if I attack it and give it its ability boost, then it can. So I'm not going to attack it, and I don't really need to click Tailwind or Destiny Bond here. So this is the turn that I go into Orthworm. And they do not Volt Switch, that's fantastic. They get an attack drop, that's fine. I'm getting my spikes up. And I'm going to get them all up. Because if I can force this Belly Bolt out and get 3 layers of spikes up, this thing will always be in range of Earthquake. They go into Arbok on my last spike. I do live a Terra Blast Fire if they're physical. I think if they're special, which would be crazy, I think I would also live. But because I'm not Iron Defense here, I can't live 2. If I could live 2 with Iron Defense, because I would take about 45 from this one, and then after an Iron Defense and leftovers, I would live the next one and be able to click Body Press. Assuming they're Terra Blast Fire here. If they're not Terra Blast Fire, Orthworm's always beating this thing. I decide to play it safe and go into Drifloon though, as they click Coil. A bit of a throw on my part. I think Terrifier is really obvious here. I decided to click Wisp anyways. They Scale Shot, they get a crit. And they get 5 hits and another crit. So they're probably loaded dice. They got 2 crits, a little unfortunate, but I should be living the next Scale Shot anyways. I Wisp, bit of a bad play. I Tailwind, which means I'll be faster, even if they click Coil again here. Or even if they click Scale Shot again, sorry. So I Destiny Bond, hoping they don't coil. They don't. They kill me. Cool. Arbok down, and this pretty much just means Earthquake Iron Thorns wins the rest of the game. Unless Golem is boots sturdy, um, which would be fine. I can just sack Skuntank, get Aftermath, and then kill with Earthquake. And then Orthworm's still living a Fire Punch. I can Body Press. If they were boots sturdy here, I'd be fine. But they were not. I can just Earthquake twice to win the game. Tailwind didn't matter here, but I guess it was cool. So we win 3-0. That means we're 4-0 in Mafia, which is a lot better than the other division I'm in. We'll take it. Bit of a close call at the end game with Arbok. That could have been pretty bad. If I was Iron Defense on Orthworm, that would have been a lot better. But I wanted Coil because Iron Defense loses to Decidueye. Although I have a Skuntank, so maybe that'd be okay. Skuntank never even hit the field, but it was really good here. Especially for Decidueye, but also just clicking knockoff. Pretty happy with the team I brought. pretty happy with how I played, and happy with how I'm doing in this league. So as I said, we're 4-0 now, and we're pretty likely making playoffs already, but getting one more win would pretty much guarantee that. I've got a new league starting up, which you'll probably see a video for today if you're watching this on the day of the upload. I didn't do a draft analysis. Actually, I might not be uploading this league. Never mind. Um, Ignore everything I'm saying. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.